What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So as you can tell, I'm back in the middle of another forest. This is actually the same forest I did the Slender Man video with Jad. It's probably the creepiest forest I've ever been in. So I came back and today I'm all alone. I'm gonna be doing the filming yourself sleeping, except it's gonna be in the middle of the woods, not in my bed, which is 10 times scarier. But for really obvious reasons, I can't sleep here overnight because I'm probably gonna die just of natural dangers like bears or wolves or just animals around. Not even considering the supernatural shit that's been going on here, but just the natural animals that live in this forest are dangerous. So I'm just gonna sleep for an hour and a half. I'm gonna put, I already heard something right beside me. I'm gonna put an alarm for an hour and a half. I'm gonna go to bed, and I've taken sleeping pills because there's no chance of me falling asleep here. Wow, it's creepy here. There's no chance of me falling asleep here if I didn't take sleeping pills. It's just too creepy and it's too damp and disgusting. So I'm gonna try and make my way back to that lamp, the lamp that we found in the Slender Man video. And if I can find it, I'm gonna try and sleep there because that was a big open area beside it. And it seemed like the most comfortable spot to sleep, even though it was extremely creepy there. So once I find that, I'll probably get back to you guys. I'm pretty sure I'm coming up to the table now. I see something over there. We spent a lot of time in this forest that night, so I kind of know my way around. Yeah, that's the table right there. If you guys can see it. Right here. So I'm gonna put my bedding down in this open area and just go to bed. I don't know, I have a tripod with me, so I'm gonna set my tripod up. I'm gonna get everything ready and then I'll show you guys what's gonna be going down here. Alright guys, I have it all set up now. Can't even see me. Alright guys, I have it all set up now. This is where I'm going to be sleeping. I took sleeping pills like 30 minutes ago, so they're starting to kick in. And I'm just going to pass out. So I'm going to leave the camera on where it is. I don't even know how much it gets. This is the table here beside me. And yeah, I'm just going to go to bed. So I'm about to pass out and see what happens. Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe I'll just wake up in an hour. Alright, where's my phone? I got to put the alarm. Okay, so I'm gonna set an alarm for 1 hour. We'll see what happens. I'll hopefully see you in an hour.
there's an evil entity in the house.
You are about to see real people.
I was terrified beyond belief.
Reliving horrifying paranormal encounters for the first time.
I truly felt it was like living in hell.
Felt like I wasn't alone.
Literally grabbed me and spun and bang up on the wall.
When ghosts are invited into their lives.
I buried this for nearly 30 years.
Be prepared to be afraid.
Take one.
In 1988, I was living with my husband and my 1 and 2-year-old daughters. We had just left a small basement apartment, so we were pretty excited to be able to move into a 3-bedroom split-level house. It was kind of like a dream come true at the time.
The young family was just settling into their new life when Kat was contacted by someone she hadn't heard from in over a year.
Maria was a friend of mine, just out of the blue, and there was no call displayed, and the phone rang, and I answered it, and it was her.
Huh?
There was this hysterical person on the other end saying, "I need your help." And what really got me was when she said, "They're gonna kill us." Well, she arrived on my doorstep with her son. She was a mess. She was disheveled. She was pale. And immediately she's going, "I know you don't know me that well, but I always trusted you, and I knew that you would help me." So I let her in. She began to open up to me about what had been happening.
Maria and Kat sat down to catch up on the past 12 months. But every word that came out of Maria's mouth, Kat found horrifying.
She said, "My husband joined a cult."
When Maria got pregnant, her husband made an appalling confession.
Halfway through the pregnancy, he said, "We have to leave here. I've done something really bad. We have to go." She said, when I had an ultrasound and found out I was having a boy, he promised that boy to the cult as a sacrifice. It took me a while to even process what was being said to me.
Maria told Kat she was scared but didn't really believe she or her baby were in danger. All that changed at her husband's birthday party 8 months earlier, just after the baby had been born.
They had had a birthday party. And then she said, "I remember hearing my sister screaming, and I'm realizing I'm drugged. He's drugged us." She said, "There were these people in my apartment." And she said, "I remember robes. I remember these black robes. And there was a fight, a physical altercation." She told me, "I get up. Finally, I can walk, but I'm still really dopey." And she goes, "There's this knife in my kitchen sink, covered in blood." She goes, "And I don't know why, I just started washing this knife." She goes, "And then I look over, and my husband's in this industrial garbage bag, and I can see his arm is over his head, hanging out of the garbage bag. His throat had been cut from ear to ear, nearly decapitated him." And she said, "I made it back to the couch and passed out. When she woke up, that garbage bag was gone. He was gone. And they found him in a field across from the apartment." She said, people at the funeral home, they're all trying to say, "Well, he committed suicide." No, he didn't.
Maria's brutal tale did not finish with her husband's death. It was just the beginning.
She began to tell me that shortly after the funeral, and actually someone called during the funeral and told her, it's not over. We're owed. That baby is ours. He was promised to us and we want him. And I said, what have you involved me in?
Despite her reservations, Kat felt she had no other option but to invite Maria and her son to move in. It would turn out to be the worst decision of her life.
Had no clue what was being brought or entering my life or my husband's life, or most importantly, the lives of my children.
Usually people, when they get into the occult, there are attachments that will attach themselves to those individuals. And that individual spirit can move and manifest to another individual. Because you have to remember, there's a different level of energy that's playing here, a different mindset that's playing here. And the mindset that I want to take over, the mindset that I want to empower, the mindset that I want to control. And they'll take that opportunity and they'll cause havoc with that person.
Shortly after Maria had arrived, really some strange things had started happening. I would put the children's toys away before bed. My husband would get up in the morning and the toys would be all out of the chest. He'd say, what are you doing? Like, why you always put them away? Someone's gonna trip. And I said, but I did. I did put them away.
Life had been completely normal before Maria arrived. Kat now became convinced the strange events were linked to her friend. She feared that by taking Maria in, she had also invited in the spirit of Maria's dead husband.
I had hung pictures that I liked. Some of them were very old pictures, I should tell you, so I loved them, but they would be off of the wall. Some of them were smashed on the floor, like someone had just walked by and hit them and knocked them off. What was very painful, actually, was finding my wedding picture shredded. The glass was shattered, the picture is shredded.
It was the last straw. Reluctantly, Kat told Maria she had to leave. But any hopes that the weird events would stop were soon dashed, in brutal fashion.
The smell arrived in my house. I was in the kitchen between dishes and I smelled this smell of rot, of decay. And all of a sudden,
in inviting a troubled friend into her home, Kat Larston had also allowed a malevolent spirit to enter, and it was becoming increasingly violent.
I was in the kitchen between dishes and I smelled this smell of rot, of decay. And all of a sudden, I felt something against me. I couldn't move. My husband saw my hips the next day and I had bruises, just black. And he said, oh my God, like, did you fall or what happened? And I said, no, I was attacked. I just want to go have a bath. I just want to bathe.
But for Kat, Nowhere was safe.
I feel his hand. It literally, the fingers were on either side of my tops of my ears, and it pushes me under the water. I remember going, I have to get out of here. To tell him I have to get out, I have to get out. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die here.
The attack stopped as suddenly as it started. Having just survived one of the most terrifying experiences of her life, Kat tried to block it out of her mind and move on.
Hey, Sarge, we got another one here. Another one what here?
Several nights later, I had put my children to bed, and I'm trying to watch TV, but I'm thinking about what happened.
Kat was confronted by an enormous shadow figure.
It literally filled the entire door. Black. This thing was massive. And I'm thinking, oh my God, because I could smell the rot, and it just charged at me.